YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to share with you 9 books that I have acquired recently. I don't want this to go very long, so let's just get into it. The first book that I'm going to share with you is The Luminaries by Elizabeth Catton. This book won the Man Booker Prize in 2013, so you know about my challenge where I'm reading that. So I went out and I bought this copy. This is one of the books that I have on my TBR for the Tome Talk Readathon. So the next time I talk about this book, it will probably be to share with you how my reading of this book is going or has gone. I think I'm going to do vlogs for the Tome Talk Readathon. I also just found out that Tome Talk starts today, Friday, April 7th, not Sunday, April 9th, like I told you before. So, oops. It's a huge book. It's 830 pages. It is the kind of book that you want to have on your shelf, so when people come over to visit, you can say, oh yeah, I read that. All I know is that it's historical. It happens in the 1800s, and it was written by a New Zealander. It takes place in New Zealand, and so I've never read a book that took place in New Zealand before, so I'm excited about getting to this one, and also excited to own it. The second book I acquired is I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. I think that's how her name is pronounced. She is the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner to date. She was shot in the head when she was 15, shot in the head by members of the Taliban because she, along with other girls, had defied the social order and wanted to be enrolled in school. Her story impacted so many people around the world. I'm not rushing through this book because I'm reading it with my students. So I'm reading it at her pace. It's one of those books that when I'm done, it will be like I've read a book without having read a book. Next on my list is Bel Canto by Patchett. I don't know what it's about other than I think it has something to do with music or a musician. You know I don't read synopses. Yeah, it has something to do with soprano and accompaniment. You can tell that there is music. The cover is a music sheet and it is made so that it looks aged. It has those deckled edges that I think I like a lot, and the chapters have that little music sheet on there as well. I hope this one is great. I've seen it other places, and so I think I will enjoy reading it. I hope I will enjoy reading it. You're going to notice that a lot of the books that I talk about today are books that are known and well loved. This is one of my favorite nonfiction authors, Malcolm Gladwell. This is not my favorite of his books, but I collect his books and I have all but one in hardcover. And I purchased this almost new copy for like $2. And it's a book that I've already read, but I love rereading Malcolm Gladwell's books. I love his perspective. He challenges his readers to think about something that you're pretty certain that you know and have accepted as a fact, but to think about it from this other perspective. I really enjoy reading his writings and love having his works. I can share them with other people. So I was very excited when I saw this one at the thrift store. I couldn't leave it behind, so I have this one. Of the books that he's published, the only one that I don't now own is David and Goliath, and I plan to pick that up anytime I see it on sale someplace, a nice hardcover that I can complete my set. I will be adding that one as well. The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Hughes was one of my favorite books in 2016, and I love the story. I really like the characters in this book, but even more than that, I really enjoy Nicola Hughes' writing style. She's a Jamaican author. She now lives in the United States, and her books, Everything, and this one, have been received with such praise, and I'm just so proud of her. I don't know her personally, but I feel like I know her, and so I'm very happy to have this one in my library. I read it before, and now that I own it, I probably will read it again. I love the cover. I also love the color of the inside cover. It is beautiful. It is my favorite color. It's purple, and it has that little star in the middle. You can see it's supposed to be a sun and a star, and then you see all the rays coming out from it. So I love this cover, and even more than that, I love the story. And I'm hoping to meet Nicola Hughes sometime soon. But I thought it would be a great idea to have my book ready so that when I meet her, she'll be able to sign it. I also picked up The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. This is my current read. I was reading this book today. I'm just at the first agreement, but I am so in love with this book. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to read it. It's only like $5 on Amazon. And please read this book. Please read this book. Just check it out. I don't agree with everything that he says. I haven't agreed to everything that he says. But even if you don't agree with everything that a writer is saying, you will find something in this book that will impact you and move you and maybe shift your perspective about something. So if you haven't read it yet, I really encourage you to read this book. I'm so excited that I have it, that I own it. I think this is a book that I'm going to keep on my nightstand for a long, long time, even though it's so small, even though I'm going to be finished reading it today. This is a book that I know I want to own, want to reread, and probably will share. I picked up Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's. I saw this one at the bookstore, and I've never read this book. I think I know the story, and I think I watched the movie. This book is considered a masterpiece, and I feel like this is one of the books that you should be sure whether you've read or not. And just to be clear, you means me. When people talk about it, you should be able to contribute to the conversation because you've read the book, not just maybe you watched the movie or maybe you know the synopsis of the story. I feel like you need to also know the literature. I plan to read this one very soon. This is a small book. It's only 170 something pages. When I'm doing the Tome Topper Readathon, I'm looking for short books to kind of intersperse between these heavy novels. This might be a book that I pick up as well. I also picked up Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham. This is not a book that I ever thought that I would buy, but I saw it at a bookstore. It's a almost brand new copy. When I came home, I dropped it and actually ripped the cover. I was very sad about that. But before that, it was an almost brand new cover. I feel like I have this opinion about who Lena Dunham is, but I've never read anything by her. I've never watched her show. I'd like to give her a chance to introduce herself to me through this book so that I can see what she's about without me making some judgment. So at some point I will be reading this one, but in the meantime, I own it. The next two books are books that I got for review. I haven't read this one yet. It's Killing Wonder Woman. It is about setting weary women free to win at work and soar in faith. It's a self-help book aimed at working women and women of faith. And I suppose it's about giving advice on how to live those two aspects of your life really well. The last book that I have in my haul right now is this beautiful hardcover. When I saw it, my immediate reaction was, I want to read that book. I want to know what that book is about. Look how beautiful it is. It is a futuristic story set in the year 2022, I think. And it is about a Jewish family. The adult children have endured some abuse or neglect or something from their father, and they are trying to decide how to deal with their relationship with him. I don't know too much about the story because, again, I haven't read the synopsis, but I plan to read this book pretty soon because I need to write a review for it. But I was so excited to receive this one. I got this from Blogging for Books. I love the picture on the cover, but I also love this blue, this baby blue inside cover. I feel like when I have a book that I really enjoy having in my hand, that I'll also enjoy the reading experience that much more. So these are the 9-10 books that I have received recently, whether from purchasing them myself, whether from receiving them as gifts, or receiving them to do reviews. So my library is growing. Thanks for watching this haul. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books and want to chat about them. And we'll talk then. Until next time, happy reading. Bye. Hey there, BookTube. Welcome back to my channel. Today I just want to share with you 9 books that I acquired. This book makes me excited.